What's up everyone, it's Joe from the Wrong Channel, and it's been a couple of months since I've had a retro game haul video, so I figured it was about time to go ahead and release another one, because I have made quite a few purchases and additions to my collection. So without further ado, let's get this thing rolling. Now the first couple of games that I'm going to show you are ones that I've purchased offline, and the first one is The Wizard of Oz for the Super Nintendo. Now, this is a game that I probably would not have ordinarily spent so much for a complete in-box Super Nintendo game. I spent $50, and it's not a good game. I will say that. So you're asking yourself, why would you spend $50 for a game that's not good? Well, basically it's because it's The Wizard of Oz. You know, aside from the video game market, The Wizard of Oz as a brand is a huge thing that many people follow and collect. So even outside of the video game world, there will be collectors of Wizard of Oz things. So I look at this one more as an investment. You know, there are things that I like about the game, but there are certainly a lot of things that could have been better, because it is a flawed game. It's kind of broken in some ways too. But I recently did a live stream of this one, so if you really want to know more of my thoughts on the game, give that a view and you'll definitely hear some more in-depth look at it. But yeah, $50 for a game that's not good. Ordinarily, I would definitely not do that. But again, because it is a collectible item being the Wizard of Oz, I thought it was okay. Now the next game that I got off of the internet is a homebrew English translation of Clock Tower. Now this is a game that was only released in Japan for the Super Famicom, and I really do love the Clock Tower series. I've got the Clock Tower PlayStation game, which I believe is also known as Clock Tower: The First Fear. But that was the first official Clock Tower game that was released in the US. And I'd always heard and seen things about this game, but I never actually played it myself. So I decided to go ahead and get it. And I do not at all regret doing it. It's a very fun game, and it's one that I plan on live streaming sometime soon in the future. It would be a great Halloween game. So I might do a Halloween review of it, but I definitely want to live stream it before then. It's a really cool game, and I don't think too many people in the American gaming audience have really played it. So hopefully that would be a nice, fun experience, and a learning experience for other people as well. So those were the online purchases that I made over the past couple of months, and the rest are all from local game stores. So a few weeks ago, I picked up Light Force for the NES. Now this is, I believe, a spin-off game from the Gradius series. Well, I mean, I know that it is, I just don't know whether or not it's supposed to be a spin-off series or not. But it plays very much like the Gradius series. It's a space shooter. I'd seen it before, but all the times that I'd seen it before in stores, like, the cartridge was kind of beat up, there was damage to the label. And then finally I found one that was pretty good, you know. It's not complete box, it's just the cartridge. But it's one that I always wanted to try, because I've got some other space shooters, like from the Gradius series. I've got Gradius and Gradius 3 for the SNES, and then I've also got a really cool space shooter game called Abadox. And that's one that I really plan on doing a review of soon, because that is a really hard game. I wouldn't want to live stream that one until I get a lot better at it, because otherwise it would just be me dying to the first 2 levels for like an hour, and no one really wants to see that. So I'll definitely be playing it more in the future, getting better at it, and then maybe I'll do a live stream of it. But until then, I'll probably just settle with a review of it. But yeah, that was Light Force. Really cool space shooter, just like the Gradius series. If you haven't played it, give it a try. It's one of those kind of common games, so it's not too expensive. Something I also got around that time was Ghouls and Ghosts. Now, I've got Super Ghouls and Ghosts for the Super Nintendo, and really that's the only Ghouls and Ghosts / Ghosts and Goblins game that I've ever actually played. Because we only had the Super Nintendo. We didn't have a Genesis, which is what this game is for. And as it turns out, I still don't have a Genesis. But I've got some recommendations on which Genesis system to get, so I will probably be buying a Sega Genesis system here in the future, within the next couple of months probably. And then last week, I picked up 2 SNES games. Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo. Now this will be the second Mega Man game that I've bought. I do have Mega Man 2 for the NES. Now, I've heard good things about Mega Man X. I haven't actually played it. I still haven't played it yet. I've got some other games that I've been working on as far as reviews and things like that go. But Mega Man X I've heard good things about. And I also picked up Dr. Franken. It's a side-scrolling platformer. You play as Frankenstein's monster, but it's the cool version of Frankenstein's monster. You know, he's wearing shorts and a t-shirt, he's got shades on and flip-flops. I haven't actually played it yet, but I've seen people play it before, and it looked like a fun game. It was a cheap game too, so I just decided to go ahead and pick it up. You know, I like the Universal monsters, so kind of a fan, so I had to pick it up. Now I've got a nice little collection that I've built just from today. What I did earlier was I cleaned my movie shelf off, went through, picked out a whole bunch of movies that I don't really watch anymore, and they were mostly DVDs, so you know that's kind of a market that's starting to go out the door pretty much, in place of Blu-ray. And I decided to just clean house a little bit, rounded up about 20 DVDs and a couple of Blu-rays, traded them in to the local game store for about $50. And with that, I picked up a whole bunch of games. Kind of across the board, too. So the first one I got was Nickelodeons' Real Monsters for the Super Nintendo. Now, I remember renting this game a couple of times when I was a kid, and I certainly remember the show. Really unique, interesting kids show. The game itself, it's a platformer. You play as the 3 monsters, obviously. But aside from that, I really don't remember too much about it. But it was like a $5 game. So I just figured I'd go ahead and get it because it's one that they don't have before. This particular game store, they usually have mostly sports games. For the cheap section anyways. So if I see something like this in the cheap section, I'll go ahead and pick it up. You know, at least, even if it's a blind buy, I'll go ahead and pick it up. Because, you know, if you're building a collection, if you can get games for cheap, you might as well do it when you can. Because if you procrastinate and you put it off, you say, oh, it'll be there later, I'll just pick it up later after I've reviewed it a little bit and see what it's about. And then you go back and it might not even be there anymore. Like I said, that's the first time I've seen that game in the bargain bin, so I went for it. Another bargain bin pickup that I picked up was Wizards and Warriors. Another $5 game. I've never actually played this one, and I don't know anything about it. But the cover looks nice, and the cartridge is in decent condition. It's actually in really good condition. So I went ahead and picked it up, you know. What's the loss? If it's a good game, you know, I'm ahead. And if it's not a great game, well, it's still one for the collection. And it'll look good with the others. But yeah, if you've ever heard of Wizards and Warriors, you know about it, why don't you go ahead and give me a comment down below. Tell me what you think about it. I'll be playing this along with a handful of these other games, probably later on today. The games that I got from the local game store that are from the case, you know, they stick the better games inside the case, so I guess people can't walk out with them. But the games that I got from that are Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. Another great side-scrolling platformer. I really like this game. It's been years since I played it, actually. So it might be one of those games where, you know, I'm remembering it better than it actually was. And those are actually the only Super Nintendo games that I picked up, because I started to branch out a little bit into the PlayStation market. And with that, I got Dino Crisis. Now, I really enjoy Dino Crisis because it's basically like Resident Evil, except you replace all the zombies with dinosaurs. You know, and they made a couple of games. I think they might have made 2 or 3. I know they at least made 2. The second Dino Crisis game is much different than the original, but yeah, I really enjoy this one. It's got great music and atmosphere. You know, it's a survival horror game, so it has to have some great atmosphere. And it's really scary in some parts. It might be a game that I'll live stream sometime. Because like I said, I love the Resident Evil series. And this was made by Capcom, you know, when the Resident Evil series was peaking. You know, it even says on the front that it's got a bonus disc for the Resident Evil 3 Nemesis demo. And I guess I'll give a little spoiler. I plan on doing a kind of a let's play of the Resident Evil 2 demo disc and the Resident Evil 3 demo disc. There aren't many people that do let's plays of those kinds of things. They usually do full games. But I wanted to do the demo discs because, you know, it's something short and quick. And what my goal is to kind of recreate my first impression of actually playing those games. Kind of bring back the nostalgia from when I was a kid and playing them. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it'll turn out pretty decently, but I'm really happy that I got this one. It's in great condition too. And my final pickup from that one game store that's in town was Mortal Kombat 3 for the PlayStation. And would you look at this, man? It's in one of the tall boxes. You know, that's kind of how they did the earlier PlayStation games before they all started going to like the smaller jewel cases. And I believe the only reason they actually made them this large, it wasn't because it was some sort of functionality. It's because I think it was just a way of them to make the things harder to steal. I really do love the Mortal Kombat series. I've got Mortal Kombat 3, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 for the SNES so far. And I decided to just go ahead, you know, because I don't see too many PlayStation games in the long cases that are in quite as good condition as this. Usually, like, the front plate will be kind of cracked or missing. And this one's a little cracked too, but not terribly. Now, I say that I do really enjoy the Mortal Kombat series, and that's true, but I think that's mostly for the earlier games. I really haven't played too many of the more recent games, you know, where they get really technical and in-depth, and they have these X-ray shots where you can go in really close and see the opponent's bones breaking and stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of cool, but that's next-gen kind of territory, and I don't have a next-gen console. The latest console I have is a PS3, and I guess they do have a couple of Mortal Kombat games like that for the PS3, but I just haven't really been too interested in playing them. Now, the classic Mortal Kombat series, those were like the penultimate games for arcade gaming, you know, because you could play 2 players, and it'd be you and your buddy, or you and just some kind of round-robin tournament thing, where kids would just play each other and just keep going, and it would be like the ultimate competition. Now, there weren't too many games that were like that, where you could actually get up in your opponent's face and trash talk them while you literally kick the hell out of them with a Mortal Kombat character. And then to add insult to injury, you can like knock their head off, or rip them in half, or rip their heart out for a fatality. So I think that's probably why I really liked the Mortal Kombat series, particularly the earlier games. So the last 2 games I want to talk about for the retro haul, I got from kind of the ran-down little hole-in-the-wall retro game store. It's a really small place, independently owned. But I picked up a couple of things, and the one I'm going to talk about first, PlayStation 2 Final Fantasy XII Collector's Edition. Comes in a nice steel bookcase. The only Final Fantasy game that I've ever actually played was Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. And I do have a retro review planned for that, which will be coming out hopefully soon. I've got everything written, I just kind of need to film it and then edit it. But once that's done, it'll be out, so maybe sometime in the next month. But yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and jump on this one. I've not actually heard anything about this game, but, you know, it is a collector's edition, nice steelbook case, and it was only $8, so, you know, I figure, what am I missing out on if I go ahead and put $8 down on this thing? You know, the Final Fantasy series is a big series, there are a lot of fans, so even if it's not the best game and I don't enjoy it, you know, $8, I'm not really out that much. And I'm sure someone would be willing to pay more than $8. Actually, I think it runs for about $20, so I got really lucky on this one. Final game that I picked up was a game from Enix, as in from Square Enix, you know, that half of the company that is now Square Enix. It's called the 7th Saga. It's for the Super Nintendo. Now, this is another blind buy, but I'm pretty sure it's an RPG game. And, I mean, because it is by Enix, and they are part of Square Enix now, I would imagine that it is an RPG game. I don't really know too much about it. But I will say that when I do get these retro games from these stores, you never really know what kind of quality cleaning they do for them. So I always clean them myself before I stick them in my console. And when I was cleaning this one, I noticed something pretty terrible. And it's another thing that leads me to believe that it's an RPG game, because it has a built-in battery inside. And it looks like somebody tried to replace or repair the battery, and they did a terrible, terrible job. You know, the welding is just all over the place. The battery is actually missing, not even in there. And there's burns on the side of the console, or the cartridge. Just slight burns, not terribly burnt, but, you know, enough to be noticeable. So, you know, I'm gonna try to see if I can get it repaired from one of the better gaming stores, because I do know of one that actually replaces batteries. But the welding in this thing, it's just a mess. They use too much, and it's just all over the place. And judging by how it got burnt on the cartridge, you know, I don't even know how that happened. It's like, why would you even have the torch anywhere near the cartridge? Because the cartridge is made of plastic. The torch is very hot. You don't want to touch the hot to the plastic, or it's gonna melt like it did. And I kind of got the feeling that the store owner knew about the damage to the battery, because when I was checking out, and I've been to this store a few times and he's never said this before, but as I was checking out, he went over his return policy, and he said, you know, for the CD games, we can fix those no problem, but for the cartridge games, you know, we can't really do much, so we'll work something else out. And I thought it was odd at the time when he said it, but, you know, getting it back home, opening it up and cleaning it, and then seeing the battery in the state that it is, I kind of see why he's saying that now. It's unfortunate, because it looks like it could be a really cool game, and I'm not entirely sure if it will even play with the state that the battery is in. I'd imagine it would, but saving would probably be kind of a hassle. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'll probably end up taking it to my other game store and let them replace it, hopefully replace it, because I don't know if it can be repaired or not. It looks pretty nasty. Oh, just one quick announcement before I finish. I've recently redone my channel layout, and I discovered how to turn the discussion panel back on. Because apparently, I guess they got rid of it for the default layout, and I was wondering about it, because it's like, well, I would like to be able to post messages to my subscribers, you know, but it's not here. But then I finally found out how to re-enable it, so it's active now. And I'll be using that to kind of keep up with the channel, let you guys know of updates and things. Now, what I want from you guys is use the discussion panel on my channel. My discussion panel on my channel. Use that to kind of recommend or request games that you would like to see reviewed or live streamed. Like I said, I've got a whole bunch going on here now. I think my collection's about up to 60 or some odd games, which isn't bad considering I've only really been starting this collection for the past 4 or 5 months. So yeah, use the discussion board and give me some input, you know? Give me some requests or whatever else you want. And I will see about live streaming it, reviewing it. You know, if I don't have the game, if it's not terribly difficult to get a hold of, I will certainly make that, you know, I'll make a great attempt to actually get a hold of it so I can do that. Because there are a lot of games that I don't have that I really want to get. You know, it's just a matter of getting them. Yeah. But I'm Joe from the Wrong Channel, and thank you all for watching. New subscribers, welcome to the channel. Old subscribers, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for your support. Hope everyone has a great day. A great day. A great day, 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 great day. Have a great day.